Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well. So Retire on Dividends already did a annual report review as well. So feel free to check that out when you have the chance. I think he did a really good job at covering most of everything. So I thought I'd give like my 2 cents on it too. You probably already have this in your inbox somewhere, so keep an eye out on that from your brokerage account. But it's also posted on the website and also on the SEC website as well. So if you go to the YieldMax website and you can click on any one of the ETFs, and then like you scroll like almost near the bottom, just look for like the section that says literature, and then go for like, the one that says annual report. So this is pretty sobering. Uh, if you look through this, it says returns are based on total returns of the NAV price, including dividends reinvested. And they also make a point to note that since reinvesting dividends builds one's share count, it's an effective approach to potential compounding of dividends. So nothing new here to report. It is something that they've mentioned before. But if you look at like just like the overall returns for October 31st, I mean up until year end, October 31st, you'll notice that, it's not really impressive. The only thing, if you're just looking at this from just like one vantage point, you'll notice that like NVDY is pretty much the only one that's pretty decent, and everything else looks like kind of blah. But remember, October was like a crappy month, so just keep that in mind as we kind of quickly go through like each of the performance. So I think one thing to keep in mind is that like you don't want to just like crap on any one ETF just because it's having a bad year. I mean, there were times when they were able to outperform. So, for example, OARK, they had like a time to kind of really shine here. But of course, like it still underperformed like the S&P for a little by just like a little bit. And then of course, like everybody's favorite punching bag, TSLY, it's obviously it's not good. But again, keep in mind, like they're doing it just based on the NAV performance. It doesn't take into account any person's your own personal like cost basis. That's what's important to keep in mind. So if you just like look at APLY too, it wasn't too bad. I mean, they had a decent chance to like outperform. And the same thing, well, obviously NVDY did like really well as also. AMZY also looked like it did pretty well. But of course, like keep in mind, like one was one of the relatively newer ones, so this is only like 3 months worth of performance. Same thing with GOOY. Like well, I guess like generally any of the Magnificent Seven should have done like pretty well. Uh, f- it's interesting that Meta kind of like had like a quick dump, and then like they over time they were able to outperform. But again, this is only based on like 1 quarter's worth of performance. And Netflix, I was a little surprised because recently they look like they were recovering. So it just goes to show like there's always like room for improvement and there's opportunities to outperform. Oops, did I have a double here? Oh, I have a duplicate. Sorry about that, guys. And then of course like CONY, this has also like been performing well lately. The past few days have been pretty blah. It's probably a lot of the Bitcoin rotation. People like, well, since we have like an actual Bitcoin ETF, why do we need like CONY or MicroStrategy or GBTC or whatnot? So there's a lot of rotation games going on. So people are obviously going to go to like the best deal in town, and a lot of these Bitcoin spot ETFs, they have I think they're waiving like the fees for a few months or up until like a certain threshold. So take advantage while you can, and then after that, then I think CONY can probably resume its uptrend trajectory. Well, unfortunately, Disney is one of those that it's probably not one of YieldMax's like greatest moments. Like it just looks like it's just treading water over here. I mean, if you just look at the performance, it's ugh. I mean, 1% is just like it's been pretty much doing nothing. Uh, and in fact, like I'm actually a big Marvel fan, and I like most of the movies, but some of them lately, like the TV shows and like the movies, haven't been like that great. But that's just my opinion. Microsoft, like is doing pretty well, all things considering. But again, this is also a relatively new fund. SHOMO, unfortunately for me, hasn't been working quite how I expected. But the good thing is I didn't personally like buy like when it first came out. I kind of waited for it to kind of drizzle down, and then like I was able to pick up a few shares on the cheap. So I'm like also kind of treading water, but at least I'm not losing money. So again, it just goes to show like you have to buy when things are on sale and don't just like jump into things like when they first come out. JP Morgan, I'm surprised this one hasn't done as well. But again, this is also like only 1 month of performance release, so there's always chance for it to improve, especially with earnings coming out. AMD, also surprising that this has been kind of blah, but again, this is 1 month worth of performance, so by now it should be coming up. Sorry guys, I messed up over here. So this should really be PP. So sorry about that. Let me just fix that while we wait. So again, this one's probably not one of their better funds, at least for right now. But you never know when things might pick up because they have a stable coin and that's been like getting some traction. So maybe they'll get some more revenue after that, and then hopefully there'll be a chance to outperform. I guess when altcoin season starts picking up. And Squee, again, this is not even like 1 month worth of performance. So like Squee has been it's pretty been doing pretty well lately. And and of last and lot and certainly not least, again, this wasn't even like this was like maybe like a week's worth of performance, and MRNA has been doing pretty well, all things considering. So there's definitely room for more improvement, and that I also noticed like I guess like the accountant or the auditors. So Cohen and Company, I actually had to look this up because I was a little afraid like if this is like a fly by night company or something. But this person is a CPA, so at least we have that. So keep in mind like YieldMax is still relatively new and still pretty. Uh, I would say like an up and comer kind of company. So I guess like over time they'll be able to upgrade like their various like services. So maybe in the future like they'll have like a maybe they'll get like PwC or ENY, one of the bigger like accounting firms to kind of go through this stuff. Because like right now, like 3 years worth of services like looks kind of looks kind of iffy. But I mean that's just like minor nitpick. And just to get summarized again, please don't get dejected because like some of these like not even like a year worth of performance, so that's not indicative of any like future performance, as they say. And and they of course like the year end was like on a crappy month, so like I feel like some of the results were kind of sandbagged a little bit. So there's definitely room for improvement. I also plan to do a return on capital video. I'm not looking forward to that one because like just preliminary, just going through like some of the stuff, I mean, it looks pretty bad. But I'll explain that in like a future video. Like also return on dividends. He also did a return on capital video recently too. So I'm just gonna throw in my 2 cents. If you like this type of content, I know this one was kind of boring, but please consider giving us a like, and any subscriptions are welcome because I'm just a hobo panda just trying to do my best to educate people on these high yield funds. So thank you for watching. I hope people make some good money out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.